Hey, what's going on, guys? Want to give you a quick vlog here. Well, I'm going to try and make it quick. I'm going to try and make this under 10 minutes, but it might go over, so I'm sorry if it does. But I got a question from a guy named Dominic yesterday, and he said, what should I be doing if I want to add a good amount of muscle? Now, normally, I like to avoid questions like this because it's very general, right? Dominic, I don't know you. I don't know what your training regimen is. I don't know, what your nutrition's like or anything like that. I don't know what your frame looks like. I don't know what you look like. So I can't really give any specific advice. And honestly, I get paid to do that, right? So I'm not just going to hand somebody a program over here or anything like that. I do put out a lot of free information that you can all use to model your training, model your nutrition. And there's archives here. I've done tons of videos over the years and come across multiple different perspectives. Not only that, there's a lot of other YouTubers here on YouTube that give tons of advice on building muscle, getting stronger. Everything you want to learn, you have at your fingertips here. And it's just a matter of doing your own research and taking notes when you're watching these videos. But I also saw this question as an opportunity because there is an answer that I can give you, Dominic, and give the rest of you who want to build muscle. That's the real secret to doing anything. The real secret to building muscle, to finding success in anything you want to do in your life, to enjoying your relationships, to doing anything, and that's this. Whenever you're trying to start something, there's one thing that you have to understand, and that's your why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do this, right? And I ask this because the number one thing to building muscle really has nothing to do with, any specific plan I could give you right now or any specific nutrition protocol I could give you right now. What it has to do with is your will to do what's necessary in order to get the thing done. And not just today or next week or next year, but over years. It takes years to do something like build muscle. It takes years to be successful at most things that are worth being successful at in this life, right? It's not just some button you can press and you wake up and you're just swollen, jacked, and you've got veins and things like that. But you've got to understand your why, right? And here's the thing about your why, especially when it comes to something like fitness or building muscle. Your why has to be more important than something like, hey, I just want to build muscle because I want to be big and I want to get girls and I want to look good, right? It's got to be more important than that. And this is why it's got to be more important than that. The reason is this. Life is difficult. Life is hard. Life has obstacles, right? And over your years, you are definitely going to run into an obstacle. A lot of you might be young right now, but eventually you're going to get jobs. You're going to have responsibilities. Someday you're going to have kids. Someday you're going to have a wife, right? Or a husband if you're a girl watching this, right? Or I don't want to get in any trouble with anything. All sexual orientations, whatever your partner looks like, right? Regardless, right? So someday you're going to have more responsibilities than you do right now. And in order to maintain a level of fitness, right? Not just building muscle or anything like that, you're going to have to really have a strong why, right? And if your why just has to do with looking good, having abs or big biceps or a 500-pound squat, guess what? Those are things that you want, but you don't necessarily need. The second your kid gets sick, the second your job takes up too much of your time, the second your partner starts wondering why you're spending so much time in the gym and not with him or her, that's when you're going to drop it. That's when you're going to say, you know what, this whole fitness thing, it's not worth it anymore, right? So your why's got to be stronger than, hey, you know what, I'm going to be jacked as hell next year, right? Because over the next year, you might run into some things that take up your time, right? And the reason why I am still able to maintain a fitness regimen, despite the fact that I work, 12 to 15 hours a day, I run multiple businesses. I have a girlfriend. I have to make dinner. I've I've got a lot of different things on my plate. But the reason why I still train, and that I've just started rolling jiu-jitsu, and that the reason why I go out and do conditioning circuits and do running and all these different things is because I want to live my best life. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to go to Tibet, climb mountains. I want to be able to hike. I want to be able to enjoy things, right? And I realized something back when I got sick with ulcerative colitis, and that's this. The two most important assets you have in your life are your mind and your body, right? If you're not taking care of either one of those, then eventually either one can trap you, or both can trap you at the same time, right? If you lose breath when climbing a flight of stairs, that means that there's a lot of stuff out there that you can't do. If you're not able to lift boxes, things like that. I don't want to be 70 years old and not able to lift my grandkids, or not able to lift boxes around the house, or need help from somebody. I want to be able to do it all on my own. I want to be independent. I still want to be living at that point. I don't ever want to be to the point where I'm trapped in my own body. And so my why became stronger than, hey, I just want to build muscle. But despite the fact that that's not my main goal anymore, despite the fact that that's not my main thing, I'm still able to maintain. You know what? I'm turning 38 years old in 2 weeks. And there's a lot of people that I've gone to high school with, and there's a lot of people out there that are my age, a lot of people I served with. They're not going to the gym anymore. A lot of them are having problems already climbing up steps. A lot of them, don't pay attention to their fitness. And a lot of them are going to find themselves sometime trapped in their own bodies. Similarly, you have to make sure if your goal is to build muscle, right? If your goal is, you want to become an IFBB pro bodybuilder, you want to become a pro football player, you want to do all these things, one of the things that you need to make sure of is that your mission, one, is stronger than just, or your why is stronger than just wanting to become an IFBB pro bodybuilder, right? Maybe it's to inspire people. Maybe it's to show people that they can do anything. But again, your mission needs to be stronger than just, hey, I want to be jacked and get attention. But beyond this, the other thing is that you really have to pay attention to is that in your quest to do these things, that you don't take a shortcut that ruins your overall mission, right? That keeps you away from your real why in doing it. And what I mean by this is there's a lot of shortcuts out there that might help you in the short run, but that'll take you off track in the long run. We talk about performance enhancements, but I don't know that those are the biggest ones. I think that, not paying attention or constructing your nutrition plan in a certain way, right? Because there's a lot of you out there that will never take performance enhancements, and I admire you for it, right? And those are one way you can come off track, but there's a lot of you also out there who will do a lot of unhealthy things in your diet just to put on muscle, right? And while they might not affect you when you're 18 years old, they could definitely affect you when you're 30 or when you're 40, right? And so, you really want to pay attention to whether or not the food you're eating is micronutritionally dense or it's digestible, right? I was 28 years old when I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. That's very young. And I got to the point where I was near disabled completely. Because I had to run in the bathroom 30, 40 times a day. And a lot of that stemmed from the fact that I was following one of these mindless bodybuilding diets that was not micronutritionally dense and was not digestible, right? And what I mean by micronutritionally dense is, foods that have a lot of vitamins and minerals in them, right? Because if it's not micronutritionally dense, it's definitely not helping your body battle the inflammation from the food you're putting into it, because every bit of food you eat causes inflammation. So if there's not vitamins there to combat that, eventually we get sick. Similarly, anything you can't digest, right, like sugar, processed sugar, other types of foods like non-sprouted wheat and things like that. And I'm not giving you specific tips here, but These are things that were rooting my body. I was eating loaves and loaves of bread just to bulk up at one point. I was eating a lot of these carb-based sugar supplements just to bulk up. And loading myself with whey protein despite the fact that my stomach was killing me. That was ruining my health, which eventually put me very far off track in my desire to build muscle, because it threw a huge wrench in my game. So don't do anything to affect your health. You want to take care of that temple, that vessel that's allowing you to do these things that you want to do. Right? So make sure that you're taking care of your health over time. And, beyond this, staying consistent in everything you do, making it a practice, not just something that you schedule each day, but making it part of your life, right? If your why is truly strong enough, this will follow. If your why is strong enough, training, working out, that'll be just like brushing your teeth every day. That'll be just like brushing your hair, shaving. It's part of your day. And it's part of your day, and you aren't your normal self if you don't do it, right? And that's only going to happen if your why is strong enough. But if your why is not strong enough, all these different things I'm talking about in life that can throw wrenches into your game, then they'll take you far off the path. And eventually, whether you built muscle or not, they'll rip you down to a nub of what you once were, or they'll make you a shadow of whatever you ever wanted to be. So that's all I got today, guys. And if you are looking for more specific things about starting your game up, about getting on this path to health and fitness, true health and fitness, building your mindset, we have a course called Warrior Soul Fitness Foundations that you can check out. I'm not going to say too much about what's in it here, but there's a lot of stuff as far as a full training program, full nutrition program. But my favorite part of it is the mental guidance aspect of it. We've got this whole Fitness is Freedom program in there. And that's truly what fitness is. It's about freedom, right? And that's the way I look at it. Fitness allows me to do every other thing I want to do in my life. It doesn't take me away from anything. It makes me better at being a partner to my girlfriend. It makes me better at running my business. It makes me smarter by taking care of my brain. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link below, and I'll stop plugging myself. We do have, if you're not interested in that, we do have a lot of other amazing content out there. Check out our podcast, the Warrior Soul Podcast. Check out our vlogs, everything at warriorsoulagoji.com. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. I love you all. Peace.